little buns, welcome back to my home. A few days ago, YouTube released a video on the YouTube Spotlight channel called #ProudToBe, and this video received so much hatred so quickly. I was in that video for about like 0.5 seconds. It was cool. I liked it. That's really nice. But that's not what I'm talking about though. And before I talk about how I am proud, I want to address all the hatred this video attracted. The majority of the comments that I saw were about how now YouTube or Google is forcing the gays down our throat. Number one, okay, listen, number one, LGBT plus is more than the gays. That's the first thing that we have to address here. The gays are one part of that 4-letter acronym plus the plus. Okay, so that's not what this is. If anything's being shoved down your throat, it's a lot more than the gays. That being said, number two, okay, nobody's shoving anything down your throat. This is a website that you chose to come to and you chose to click on that video. Nobody's shoving that down your throat. Did we hold your hand and push the button for you? No. No. So if you do not want to see that kind of content, don't watch it, okay? I don't even care at this point if you don't like us. Then don't watch us. It's that simple. You have a choice to click on us or to not click on us. And by clicking on us, you're giving us ad revenue, okay? So you are supporting us when you click on us. If you can't handle us, I don't think you want to support us either. So don't watch our stuff, okay? It's that simple. Thank you. Great. There's been some criticism about the Proud to Be campaign, saying, you know, it's unnecessary, there's way bigger issues. It's not about pride, it's about biology and, you know, who we are and our brains, and that is very valid. I want to talk about that for a second. I've seen a lot of people bring up how nobody talks about the biological aspect of being trans, and that is not how you are biologically one sex and another gender. That's completely not, it's not even true, okay? There is a biological reason that people are trans anywhere on the spectrum. It has to do with your chromosomes, it has to do with your brain development, and it's not a problem, it's not a brain malfunction. It is literally a different brain. It's a different thing, and I do not have all of the resources and the information, but it has something to do with your embryo. It's very base. It's not like a glamorous choice you make. It is literally part of our biology, it is literally written in our DNA, in our biology, that we are trans. So by denying us treatment or telling us that we're freaks or we don't need this, you are killing us. Okay, you're denying us our humanity and you're killing us. Whether you want to believe that or not, that's what you're doing. So just let us have our drugs. Thanks. Okay, cool. All right, okay. Now, I want to talk about how I am proud to be trans, okay? I'm so proud. I'm very proud. And it's been a long road to get here. I grew up in a very small town. I think there was somewhere between 7,000 and 10,000 people there. That is small to some people, that is very large to some people. But where I'm from, that's a small town. It's very small. It's almost not a town, according to people that I now live with in Toronto, okay? So big change. Being gay wasn't acceptable there, let alone being trans. Trans people were so unaccepted that I didn't know they existed. That is the level of delusional this town was. You don't understand. If you were not a white Christian, straight person also, cis straight person, the word cis and trans didn't even, that didn't exist where I came from, okay? People don't think we are real. It's a thing. So if you were not a straight cis white person, oh, also Christian, did I mention that? Then you were basically not allowed. You were weird, you were a freak. People would make rumors about you, people would literally harass you or violently assault you. I was chased by a car, and this is before I knew I was trans. This is when I was gay, okay? I didn't even know being trans was a thing, so I was gay because I thought that was where I was supposed to be because I was feminine and liked men. That means gay, that doesn't mean gender. What's the gender? It was a thing, okay? It was a weird time for me. Anyway, I was the gay boy, okay? That's what I was. I was chased by a car. My mother's Jeep was vandalized, spray painted the F slur, I'm sure you know what that is, on the side of her prized Jeep. She loved this Jeep. She was obsessed. And they destroyed it with that slur. She got it repainted, but every time she looked at that car, all she could see was that. They also slashed the tires with a machete, so violent weapons near my house, literally on my property. Garbage was thrown all over my lawn. I was harassed daily. I was not accepted by my peers. It was a thing. I had a terrible time. It was dark. I haven't talked about it, but I had a lot of struggle with depression and with suicidal thoughts, and that was something that I haven't told anybody that. I have not been honest about that because it was such a weird thing for me. It was such a dark feeling that just now I am able to understand it. It's taken me 5 years to understand what I was going through in high school. It's a long time. That town wanted to destroy me. And I'm sure if you're trans and you come from somewhere that's not accepting, you know that feeling. You know the fear of leaving your house. I literally didn't leave my house for 4 years. I went to school, I went home. Nothing else. Because I knew if I went anywhere else, I would be assaulted, I would be hurt, and at the very least, I would be harassed. I could not leave my house there without being attacked in some way or another. I don't even want to start talking about how people treated people of color in that town. It was a nightmare. Terrible, terrible place. I don't care. If you're from that town and you're listening to this and you hear me saying it's terrible and you're offended by that, you need to just assess your situation. Okay, if somebody's telling you there's a problem in your town, don't deny it. Listen and fix the problem. Okay? Because I left that town for a reason. Not because I wanted to come see the city lights. It was because I was not safe there. I couldn't live there. It was literally detrimental to my health to live in a place like that. So please fix it. Okay? Please make it someplace where people can live. Because right now it's not. Moving on from that. When I realized transition was what I needed, that I was trans, it felt like the weight on my shoulders disappeared. There was this big heaviness that followed me around since puberty that I thought was just my life. I thought I was just supposed to feel that way. I thought that was who I was. You know, silent, solemn, just miserable and slurky and weird, and that's not who I was, but it's who I thought I was because this feeling just would not leave me. I thought I thought that was what my brain was, okay? I thought that was normal. I thought everybody experienced that. I was wrong, because the second I realized, and I remember laughing like almost manic. I was almost manic. I was so happy and relieved when I realized I was trans. I sat on the ground in my room and I was like, I'm a woman, and I could not stop laughing. It was creepy almost. It was so bizarre. But the amount of weight that lifted off me in that moment, I can't even express. If you are not a trans person, like, I don't know what analogy I can give you. It's like, I don't think there is one. It was so big, and I have not been the same. I have not been the same person since, not because I've changed, but because I was not myself all those years. From puberty until that time, I had no idea who I was. And then that happened, I realized I was trans, that happened. I don't know what that is. I was listening to FKA Twigs and I was like, oh look, I'm a girl, and it just stuck. And of course, in hindsight, there was so many things that could have told me that beforehand, but I just needed to have that moment, you know? I don't know. Now being so public with my transition on YouTube and educating people on trans issues and just being public about transness, it has forced me to be proud of it. It has forced me to own it. Because if I was just slurking around being like, oh no, I'm not trans, here's an education about trans, I'm not trans, like, I would not be able to handle that. And just the amount of comments I get on a daily basis that I remove about, you know, you're a boy, you look like a man, nothing's gonna feminize you, you'll always be male biologically, XY chromosome bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Stuff that really doesn't matter. If I did not have the thick skin that I built up in my hometown, I don't know if I could handle it. I probably couldn't. There are many trans people that can't handle it. The suicide rate for trans people is so high, especially trans women of color, is so high. I don't even want to think about it. And to think that I was going to be one of those numbers in high school, that I felt that way. It's so real. It is so real. And I don't want anybody to feel like that. And you can't not. Gender dysphoria is so difficult to explain because just like that relief I felt, there's no analogy for gender dysphoria. It's not like body dysmorphia. BDD and GD are not the same thing. They're not even remotely similar. They have a close name. That's it. Gender dysphoria is like disassociation combined with depression, combined with anxiety, combined with panic, combined with... It's so much. It's so much. And it has been proven that by treating gender dysphoria with hormones, with surgeries that person might need, it's been proven that you can treat gender dysphoria. BDD, body dysmorphia, is completely different. Different playing field. I don't know anything about it besides the fact that you can't treat it the same way. What I was told, and what makes a lot of sense, is you can identify gender dysphoria by noticing if the depression lessens when you treat it with the hormones or with the surgeries or whatever. The point is, gender dysphoria is a lot. It's a lot to deal with, and I'm proud that I'm able to deal with it, but I would not be able to if I didn't have a good support system, if I didn't have you guys to keep me on my toes, to keep me alert, to keep me doing things, to keep me creative. If I didn't have my supportive family, if I didn't have, you know, an employer when I first came out that was accepting and allowed me to still work there. All of these things lined up to allow me to have a smooth transition. That is rare. That doesn't happen. For most people, it is hell on earth. It's like flipping your whole life inside out and shaking it all up. You have to start from scratch, especially in other places in the world. Toronto, pretty good as far as places go. Still not perfect, absolutely not perfect, but better than a lot of places. So I hope that by being proud, by being open on this platform, I can help educate more people. That is why I am proud to be trans, is because I know that I can help people that are like me. And I hope that I can help people around those people, to help support them, to help give them the life that sort of I have. You know, it's not ideal, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And I hope that's what I want. That's what I want for all these trans people, is to have a pretty good life, to not want to end it. And that's so hard for them. And I understand and I know. Bottom line is, whether or not Pride actually does anything at this point, the actual feeling of Pride, not the event of Pride, is irrelevant. Because Pride as a feeling, to us, to LGBT plus people, it's like armor. You know, it's like strapping on a full bulletproof bodysuit. Because if you have pride in who you are, they can't hurt you with it. The T-slur doesn't hurt me because I'm proud of it. And that, you know, I'm not gonna go saying the T-slur, I don't like the word, but when people throw it at me, I'm not like, no I'm not. Because I damn right, yes, I am trans. I'm aware of that, you're aware of that, everybody here's aware of that. Because it's not something that I feel I need to hide. And I hope you don't feel you have to hide it either. And of course, in some places, it's going to need to be hidden because it's dangerous. But I think with time and with effort and activism and this kind of platform, we can educate everybody to be safer, you know, to be less violent towards us, to not want to kill us for no reason. You know, there's so many layers, but I am hashtag proud to be trans. I'm also proud to be your bread mom, but that's another story. Not right now. Not right now, guys. I hope this has been, you know, fun for you. I hope you've gained some kind of, you know, feelings. I don't know. What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm going to head out for now. This has been great. Please, you know, if you're interested, even if you're not part of the LGBT community, check out the other Proud to Be videos, okay? Check them out, learn about us, all of us. There's so many different kinds of LGBT people. You will not learn about all of us from one video, of any video on here. You have to watch all of us, I guess. Better start looking. Better start looking. It's been fun. I'll see you all later. I love you so much. Bye! As of May 25th, I was actually half a year on estrogen, and I feel like half a year is a pretty great milestone, so we're gonna celebrate it by talking a little bit more in depth than we normally do regarding my transition and HRT.